Let's just focus on to this. The online court system corruption scandal involving the Secretary General of the Office of the Chief Justice has taken another twist. According to Sunday Times, Mbekezeli is now accused in a court affidavit by one of her colleagues that she knew about the awarding of a 255 million rand Thomson Reuters tender weeks before she joined under oath. We're now joined by Mbekezeli Benjamin, Research and Advocacy Officer at Judges Matter. Thank you very much, Mbekezeli, for your time this afternoon. How would you characterize what is happening with the Office of the Chief Justice nationally?
Well, good afternoon, Dudu, and to the viewers at home. Well, I think before we characterize what is happening in that office, I think we just need to have a little bit of context. What this tender relates to is the court online system. So the idea was that there would be a system that would be implemented across the country where you could have court hearings online, submit cases online, submit evidence online, and everything will be dealt with in the digital environment. It has already been implemented in Gauteng, and it was supposed to be rolled over to the other provinces. But because of the issues relating to this tender, that has not yet materialized. And the main thing really is how this tender was awarded. There were allegations really that certain of the senior members in the Office of the Chief Justice were involved in the subcontracting, and so that has caused the big issues with this contract. And to here, I must also clarify that when we speak about the Office of the Chief Justice, we're not speaking about the private office of Chief Justice Zondo. We're speaking about a national government department that is responsible for administration in the superior court. So the registrars in the high courts, in the Supreme Court of Appeal and the Constitutional Court, those ones, the administrative staff fall under the Office of the Chief Justice, which is that national government department.
And depending on who you speak to, it makes it all that much worse. You speak of a national government department, and you speak of other provinces not enjoying the benefit of what was intended with this online system. What has then been the consequence of that?
Well, there are a number of consequences. It's not an exaggeration to say this has been the biggest scandal since the Office of the Chief Justice was established in about 2014. But the real impact has been in the other provinces. So if you go to Gauteng, for example, if you need to file a court case, everything is done online. Judges are able to access the case files at all hours of the day and night and be able to work on them. What is the impact in the other province, and if it's the slow implementation of this project, it means that in all other provinces, you're still dealing with paper-based systems. That means you still have a risk of files getting lost, files getting damaged, and slowing down of the processes of the courts. And so there is a real impact in how the courts operate. And what we as Judges Matter are saying is that this scandal actually represents a fundamental failure in the governance system within the judiciary. And one of the things that has been proposed for a number of years is that judges should have a bigger say in the administration of the courts. This scandal has nothing to do with the judges, actually. The judges have no say in what has happened in this tender. And it's high time, in fact, that the Chief Justice and the Minister resolve what the governance model for the judiciary looks like, so that there is more oversight over things like this and there is greater transparency, because we were promised a number of months ago that there would be a thorough investigation into the scandal, and that investigation seems to have progressed, but we just don't know where it is, and that is the transparency that we think a proper governance system would be able to address.
And that's just it, because while this investigation is ongoing and there are allegations that keep surfacing, what then does it mean in the meantime, right? So when you speak of the judiciary and government being in conversation, who then needs to do what?
Well, there are two key role players here. One is Chief Justice Zondo. He needs to step up, and working with the Minister of Justice, they need to resolve what is the framework of governance, what should it look like. So in a scandal like this, the main thing is accountability. Who is accountable for what? There is no clarity as we speak right now, and that's one of the things that should really be resolved. We know that the Minister of Justice right now is sitting on a proposal that the judiciary has sent to him. So what we are saying is that he should now revert back to the Chief Justice and say, okay, this is what we believe should be the model, and how do we work together to finalize that model? Because, like I said, issues of transparency, issues of accountability are the key things that the public is looking for in the judiciary. And so when you still have issues like governance not being resolved, then it makes room for more problems, because scandals like this inevitably do crop up. The main thing is, how do you guard against them happening, but more importantly, how do you respond? And here, the response has been less than satisfactory.
You characterize this as possibly being the biggest scandal to hit this office, the national office this national office. But then what message does it send to you and I? Unfortunately, Mbekezeli Benjamin, he did give us a disclaimer that there's a storm in Cape Town currently, so our feed to Mbekezeli Benjamin has just been disrupted. We do apologize, but thank you very much. You got the gist of the matter. He's with Judges Matters.